Well, that was interesting information. Be careful out there as well. But right now we're in the mild, holding on to temperatures that are going to carry over for the better part of the day until we get into the 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour. That's when cooler air starts to slip in. We have sprinkles coming in out of Minnesota, and maybe a mix of rain and snow kind of moving up to Ladysmith all the way down to Eau Claire, and maybe a sprinkle for us here locally. It's not going to expect, don't expect a lot of moisture out of that. Maybe a tenth of an inch getting into Ladysmith, and that's about it for most folks today. In fact, cold air comes in as we go into Wednesday with the Arctic blast on the way, and that is also going to bring in temperatures and knock the numbers down. In fact, our wind chills by that time all the way into Friday, we're looking for them to be at least -5 to -25. Yeah, we'll get into that. Current temperatures for you right now, though, 33 up in Ladysmith, 42 in Eau Claire, and they're pretty much the only ones that are holding on to conditions that are just have a bit of a wind chill or much cooler than their temperatures are currently. You can see they're holding on to at least 36 to 25 degrees. That's what it feels like there. And of course, La Crosse is 44 degrees, feels like 44, and is around 44. Now we take a look at the moisture that's been building up, getting into around Michigan, as well as the Great Lakes. We're holding on to this moisture, and as we continue on, you're going to see a couple of areas of low pressure get together. They join, start to lift up a little bit, and take that moisture up to the north, going towards Canada, but still holding on to that area of low pressure that is sticking all the way down to the east coast, as well as extending down into areas by the Gulf of Mexico. That being said, you'll break apart a warm front here and then get into this area of low pressure that sticks around. Colder air starts to drop right back down on top of us, and that's going to stay with us to finish out the remainder of the week. But high pressure begins to build as we go into Thursday. All of this moisture will either move offshore or start to dissipate or mix out, and dry conditions ensue. And of course, you can see the high pressure ridge beginning to build gradually over Houston, and eventually it's going to sneak its way over into Louisiana and then move over eastward as we go into Thursday. But for now, today, 2 o'clock all the way to about 6 o'clock, you have that moisture kind of spreading out a little bit, mix of rain and snow, a little bit of light rainfall down into Eau Claire, maybe some sprinkles for them extending down to Black River Falls, as well as possibly even touching into areas by La Crosse today. It all begins to lift up a little bit more so up to areas by Marshfield, and then get into Wausau and northward and up and out. It's done. Temperatures in the 20s, 30s, and of course, we may not see a lot of snow on the ground because we're in the 40s today, right? So we get into it. We get into Tuesday with a little bit of snow coming in, widespread 20s for us after a very cold morning from 17 to 25 degrees in the morning starting up, and then we'll see temperatures begin to cool. Here comes the snow for Wednesday. We're not expecting a lot out of this either. Maybe a quarter of an inch, getting up to maybe a tenth of an inch for Ladysmith, and that's pretty much it. Maybe even Wausau, and then we're done. This continues on, and we're not expecting a lot of moisture out of that. Now, that being said, take a look at the zones as you get into it. You're going to see these zones continue on, holding on to temperatures. You can see mostly in the 40s today, maybe some 50s popping into the picture. That'll continue to go all the way through as we finish out going into today. In fact, we'll hold on to that going into gusts that are going to be up to 20 to 30 miles per hour kicking in. You can see that continuing on. And then once we finish out for the 8-day forecast, this is what I've got going on for you. You're going to be seeing temperatures from 46 today, 28 tomorrow. So in the cool, 21 for cold temperatures. That's mostly teens. Then you're going to be seeing single digits on Thursday, and maybe some below zero temperatures coming back as well. So it's going to be very cold as we finish out the work week.
All right, bundle up. Thank you, Art.